Hi, my darlings. You are welcome to our channel. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Welcome, dear. Welcome, dear. I want to mention your names. Some of you that I know that you're watching, but I don't want to sound too favoritism. I don't want to have that. So everybody's actually welcome to this channel. My old subscribers, my new subscribers, I love you all. My name is Malaria, and today you're joining us for a very, very wonderful and important discussion. See you shortly. Yeah, I call it wonderful, even though it is not so wonderful in the sense of it. We're talking about malaria and pregnancy today. And why malaria and pregnancy? This topic you will not find very common here on our YouTube space. You won't find it very common because it doesn't happen to a lot of white people. It doesn't happen to a lot those are the people who create pregnancy content, a lot of them. It doesn't happen to a lot of white people in comparison to we black people, we Africans, we Nigerians. So I've taken it upon myself to shed a little light on it. So what is malaria? What is malaria? A lot of us are familiar with malaria. You feel my rhymes? A lot of us are actually familiar with malaria, especially in this part of the world. Countries that are prone to the malaria disease are large parts of Africa, especially sub-Saharan Africa, large parts of Asia, Central and South America, Haiti, and some Pacific islands. But yes, the main cocoa is here in Africa, some parts of Asia. So what is malaria? Malaria is a disease, a parasitic disease that is caused by transmitted actually by the female Anopheles mosquito. It is caused by a parasite, I think, called Plasmodium. And it's very destructive. It is very deadly. It's very, very serious in this part of the world. And usually it is a particular blood group of people that are more susceptible to the disease, the AA. There's a particular blood group of people that are more susceptible to it. But for pregnant women, all pregnant women in this part of the world are susceptible to having malaria, and the consequences of having it are very dire. In fact, a normal human being who is susceptible has a higher chance by 3 times of survival or beating it in comparison to the pregnant woman. The pregnant woman is much more susceptible to it. And 25%, this is the World Health Organization record, 25% of maternal deaths are linked to malaria, the disease malaria. In fact, about 10,000 maternal deaths yearly are recorded as direct influence or direct results of malaria, and 200,000, which is very sad, 200,000 neonatal deaths are recorded on an average to be caused by malaria. So what can we do to prevent it? What do we do to stop it? Aside from the deaths, which are the most dire consequences of malaria, there are other very serious consequences of malaria. For the mother, anemia, having abnormal or low red blood cell production in the body. And it's very dangerous. That one is dangerous because red blood cells are things that carry oxygen throughout the body. Just imagine if oxygen is not reaching the vital organs of your body. Problem. For the child, it is much more serious for the child because the child can have low birth weight. Malaria can cause an actual destructive life cycle in children, whereby they have stunted growth, stunted brains, stunted minds. It can affect them all through their lives. Very destructive life cycle. Those children as well can be anemic. Those children can be prematurely born. Low birth weight, premature, they kind of go hand in hand. And at the end of the year, the most destructive, as we said before, is they can be stillbirth. There are all sorts of terrible causes of malaria. So what is typically done about malaria? Like most diseases or most things that happen in pregnancy, if malaria happens, it has to take its course. You can only manage it as so much to an extent. But most times, even before we get to that point, from the time that you're pregnant, you're treated as a high profile case. And for instance, I was given preventing malaria drugs that's anti-malaria drugs from very early on in pregnancy, about 12 weeks. But I even read that it's supposed to come earlier than that, if you can. To almost at every check, I was given a dose of anti-malaria, one that your care provider will recommend to you. I was given, I think, Fancida, and throughout pregnancy, I was given that, because you don't want a pregnant woman to get malaria. Another thing that they advise, if you are in an area that is prone to a lot of mosquitoes, that's even for if you're going to have your child, you're going to be advised to get a malaria treated, I think, anti-malaria insecticide treated nets, ITN. Yeah, you're going to get insecticide treated nets to drape over your bed, to drape over where your baby will sleep, because malaria is a very, very dire something. It's a very serious disease. So yeah, it's a short discussion. I hope I shared a little bit more light. I hope this has reinforced that you have to take going to a clinic for your antenatal very serious. It's the little things that kill, and it's the little things that matter. As we usually hear, the devil is in the details. So you also take that little step. Go for your antenatals, get your prenatal vitamins, get your anti-malaria doses, get your tetanus shots. I think they give that as well. And you have a wonderful pregnancy. It's the little things. Pregnancy is not hard. I hope to see you again. See you next week. Yes, see you next week. And we'll talk about something more interesting next week. I know we've been talking about things that are a bit more solemn. We'll talk about something more interesting next week, I promise you. I love you so much. Bye.